What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Grips Poker Training Show, where we teach you how to get stacking. I'm very excited for today's episode. I got a great friend and an awesome dude who's going to be joining us for the broadcast. His name is Robert Riva. And if you guys haven't heard about him before, let me show you a little something. This is Robert's blog, where he teaches you how to pick up chicks. He's got his theories on the right way to deal with women, the right way to take care of yourself. He also covers some sports stuff too, but the main thing is this guy, he's from Miami. He's had his fair share of fun. He knows how to get the job done. So if you're interested in expanding your horizons outside of just the poker tables and improving your gaming game on top of your poker game, this guy is going to be someone that you guys are really, really going to enjoy. But I'll let the man talk about that himself. So let me just pull him up on the Skype so we can get started with today's broadcast. Homeboy,
Hello, hello.
how we doing, bro?
Excellent as always. What's going on?
Chilling? You ready to crush some Bovada fish?
You know I am, man.
Show your antics to the fans? All right, get us that beat so we can get started and get stacking.
Trying to get these guys to sit down. No one sits down.
No, bro. It's not important. Just show me some tables, if nothing else. The fans are waiting.
Can you see? You can't see my screen?
No, you didn't turn it on yet, bro.
Oh,
All
my bad.
right, here we go. You guys ready? About to get started. All right, so homeboy, tell these guys about the summer in Vegas, because this was your first year going down there, right?
Yeah, first year of the World Series. 6 weeks in Vegas. Not a lot of people survive that. Fortunately, I didn't jump simply, simply because there weren't any balconies. But it was a great time. It was obviously a one of a kind experience. That house, that house we had was unreal. It was literally a mansion converted specifically for bachelor parties and degenerates paradise. So
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine if we'd still had the house when Greggy made the final table and everyone was still in town? We just had like the craziest bender ever.
we should have kept it once we knew we made it to day five, since that was a guarantee.
I mean, everyone's such a sucker though. They're like, well, I'm out of the tournament. I guess I'll just fly home because I don't need to support my friends.
Yeah,
Turncoats, man.
everyone gets really mad after busting, but
Oh yeah.
um, yeah, no, it was awesome though. It was a lot of fun meeting a lot of the guys. Being part of a crew. It's gambles on everything from FIFA to who's gonna be the first one at the tournament. I don't know everything. It was unreal. It's always fun being around action junkies. So.
Yeah, I try to stay on the sidelines from that stuff. I don't run good enough away from the tables to be risking my money against those hustlers.
I run good everywhere, man.
How much did Eric lose playing FIFA to Dennis?
Probably like upward toward 10.
I remember he was he was like Dennis is like, yo, dude, I just took all of Eric's money and I go down, I just see Eric just like sitting there staring at the screen, being like, what the
Dude, he
fuck,
literally
dude?
didn't cash. He didn't cash one tournament, and then he lost another 10K on top playing FIFA.
Oh
Really,
my kid's
pretty,
got to work on his game.
pretty serious of weeks.
Um, who won between me and you at Wayne Gretzky's overall? I feel like that was like the closest match in terms of opponents I've ever had, but I forget.
I definitely had a winning record,
Yeah.
dude. No one can mess with my N64 games, man.
Are you kidding me, bro?
They need to revamp the N64, put that online. Do some Super Smash, some Gretzky's, some Blitz.
Oh, that would be sick. We never played Blitz.
We didn't.
Lucky for you, man. You would have left the house on a stretcher if we played Blitz.
You didn't want any, man. You didn't want any.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for Halloween, man. It's really important.
Halloween's the night where you don't want to like half-ass it because every
Really,
it, it's that's got to be one of the best nights to pick up if you're willing to put in the effort to get a good costume, right?
100%, dude. Girls, it's every girl, prude girl, nerdy girl, intellect girl. It's every girl's night to be a whore. Literally, every single one. And so they all use that night as an excuse to do things they wouldn't normally do, including the way they dress and the way they act and who they end up going home with.
Yeah.
And I found the key ingredient, dude. It came to me last night.
Well, do tell because everyone wants to know.
The key ingredient for every costume to take to that next level
Yeah.
is buying sick contact lenses.
Oh shit. Yes.
I swear, dude. I looked at it, and every costume you're gonna do, if you add a really tight pair of contact lenses, first of all, every girl wants to go home with a guy that's wearing like some like sick like ice blue or like glow in the dark green contact lenses. Like that's 100%. You know what I mean? You're 10 times more likely to take a girl home. But like for example, I wanted to do like an authentic. I was thinking about being like Sub-Zero, like doing like a really authentic, like not buying that phone bullshit for $50 online, but like doing like an authentic Sub-Zero outfit, and then getting like ice blue contact lenses, and then like using like waterproof like white paint on my arms or something, and then just having like a sick. I don't know. I'm juggling ideas, but I'm trying to make it authentic. Dante's another sick one too. Dante from Diablo. That's another really sick, authentic guy. You can put like red eyes in.
Yeah. Although he's going to be less recognizable, but I guess the girls don't really care like which person you're
Right.
dressed as. It's just how
You,
hard you like put it
yeah,
together and show the effort.
then you would just look like an authentic. You know, like you would just look at authentic. So yeah, you're right. That's why I wouldn't do Dante because it's less recognizable. But at the same time, like you know, you're a vampire slayer. Like you're like a demon slayer. You know, it's kind of but
It's an easy pickup if the girl's dressed as some sort of like demon or vixen.
with this whole Twilight saga going on, every girl wants to fuck a vampire or someone associated to one. You know.
Totally, dude. Right on point. Uh,
But I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end up going with Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger.
Sounds great.
Tony the Tiger. You know, get some body paint going for tiger stripes, and then get the tiger contact lenses, and we're good to go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. How do you feel about like doing the colored contact lenses versus doing like the all out, like you can do the all white ones, or you can do like the bloodshot ones or the cat eyes.
Depends on who you're gonna be. If you're going, I was thinking the all white ones would be really tight. If you're gonna be the guy from Watchmen,
Yeah,
like that, like it's scary though too. Though you don't want to scare these girls.
yeah. I mean, but on Halloween they're expecting it a little bit. But I guess to get the job done, you want to be a little more welcoming than that.
Last year I half-assed my costume. I'll never do it again. I waited too long. You know, now I'm like already looking for professional like artists and stuff to like book to come over to the house.
Yeah. Are you thinking? Are you thinking to stay after the main event and do Halloween in Vegas?
No, Halloween in Miami is too good, and I already have. If I don't come back here, then the girl I've been like working on is just gonna find someone else to fuck on Halloween, and it's all gonna go to hell.
So, would you say Halloween's a bigger can't miss day than Valentine's Day, or would you say they're like right on par?
A bigger what?
Like, obviously, if you skip town on Valentine's Day, you're game over. That's the end of that. Would
Oh
you
yeah,
say
yeah,
Halloween like ranks pretty similar though, in
yeah. It
terms of
does.
the
I think it
importance?
does, and also, I mean, depending on the girl, the more immature girls that are still in college, like they are going to hook up with someone on Halloween, just like on New Year's. You know, they're gonna someone like is gonna is they're not going home empty-handed on Halloween. Like they got way too hot and they got way too dressed up to not go home with someone. So if you're not around, you know, you're really putting your chips at risk.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Because one of the other things too is that I realize the importance of getting in good with the ringleaders, like I guess you call them like the mother hens or like the ringleaders of the girls,
Mm-hmm.
because there's always one girl that directs the other five idiots where to go and like what to do. There's always like the one girl that kind of runs shit, and she's not necessarily the hottest. She just, for whatever reason, is like the mother of the crew
Yeah.
and kind of just controls like what they're doing and where they're going. So like, I don't know,
So
in order to get them to your pregame or get them to your tailgate for football game, get them anywhere, the key is not so much getting with the hottest, like getting in good with the hottest one. The key is getting in good with the ringleader, and then you can always work on the little work on the chicks on the side. But
yeah. Because once you've got the ringleader under control, then you're going to get the whole crew, and then it's easy to work game from there. Once you've isolated them to that seduction location,
right,
which is usually going to be just a good after party spot.
unless
Now,
you convince mother hen to bring her chicks, the chicks are all at risk.
yeah, yeah. Once you close those doors and there's no cameras, I mean, anything can go down. And if they showed up at your place, they're probably down anyway, unless you've made some really bad reads all night. In that case, you deserve to get no action, right?
Yeah,
Nice, you won your first pot, bro.
I know, man. Got the blind.
You were so ready to do some crazy shit with that. I'm sure you're
I
right.
know. I know. I was just ready to three anything. Looking to three bet anyone.
Yeah,
I can't have fun with 5-8 off. I'm loose, but I can't have fun with that.
yeah. Now I'm curious when dealing with sets of like three, four, six, eight, whatever. How important do you think is it to have like strength in terms of your numbers? And at what point are you at like too much of a disadvantage? Like if there's eight chicks, is four guys enough to get the job done? Or are you gonna need like a stronger contingent of like six dudes to keep up and like keep all the chicks entertained? At what point do you get vulnerable?
I think it depends on the environment that you're meeting the chicks in. If you're meeting them, if they're a huge like group out and you're meeting them at a nightclub and like there's only three or four of you and the group of girls is eight or so, like there's other factors that have to come into play. You have to, are they on vacation? Do they live here? Um, you have to you have to really like kind of assess like what the likelihood is of wow, I'm just getting trashed. What the likelihood is of them willing to separate from their crew, because you don't want to waste your time or your boys' time in talking to a group of girls that are like very gun ho at staying close knit and tight to one another. So if you can break one off, just get her to come have a drink with you, um, get her to I don't know. I mean, you just get her off from the group in one way or another. Then you're never at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and the easiest way to do that is going to be by getting the approval of the other ones, so that they say, "Yeah, this guy's all right. It's okay to let
Yeah,
our little chickie
yeah.
go off with
You
him."
definitely want to flirt with all of them at first. You don't want to offend any of them, because then you just have one. All you need is one bad review, and then she's not coming home with you, or the other one's the mother hen. You really have to figure out which one the mother hen is, which one's controlling the entire group.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's the rookie mistake a lot of people make, right? That they find the girl that they want and they go straight to her and they just ignore everything else. They just kind of zone in. And I don't know if it makes the chick feel uncomfortable or it just doesn't lead to the kind of situation you want, right? Because it's too aggressive and too obvious what's going on, not comfortable and back enough.
yeah, I would definitely say that. I'd say that these girls, one of the things they do is also like defensive formation. They don't even understand that they're doing it. So like they'll like dance in a circle, or like they will have and like how is a guy supposed to like break through a group of five, six girls all dancing in like a an oval or like a hectagon
You got to be a sick break dancer. That's the only way you could infiltrate that
right.
situation.
That's exactly right. That's really is the only way. But like then I've spoken to girls and like they don't even realize that they are dancing in defensive formation and like it's just they don't even know they aren't aware that they're turning guys off and then they wonder why guys aren't approaching them and like you see them turning away guys that are like on a track. It's just the whole numbers. You saw what we were doing in Vegas though. I mean,
Yeah.
we were doing work.
I mean,
Recruiting.
it's easy when you got a table that's running a 20K bar tab to get the job done. and you're celebrating like a sick occasion. But I mean, we also ran the mistake of having just too large of a crew where the chicks are like, there are way too many dudes here, and they're just almost guaranteed to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, 100%. And the guys weren't supposed to be on the couch. I mean, the key was to have all the guys on the ground, put the girls up on the couch, feed them liquor until they fall off into our arms. You know?
Yeah, that's a pro tip for you guys. If you ever get bottle service and you have one of those booths where you can dance up top, do not position yourself there. That is real estate that belongs to the girls. And if any chick wants to dance up there, even if she's not someone you brought to your table, let her go have her fun. It makes you look more cool and more welcoming, which is going to attract other women to want to try the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. You can dance on there until you recruit women. Once you recruit the women, throw them up there, pass them a shot every once in a while. They feel amazing because they're on top of the world. They're at your table. Eventually, they'll get so drunk that they fall over, and we'll be over right there to catch them.
The old expression of her falling right into your arms. I guess it came from something real.
It did, man. It did. All right, we got deuces, baby.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I just like to float just because I feel like I'm better than everyone post flop. So once I'm in position, I pretty much float a large majority of hands, and just enjoy, mentally just destroying people post flop. I'm gonna rep a king here all day. I'm repping a king here 100% of the time.
I mean, what are the chances that one of them is actually going to have a king or two nines anyway? We can fucking muscle this shit. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Show them how it's. Oh, what's the rabbit cam?
Rabbit cam six of spades.
They only give you one card. You can't rabbit cam, but oh shit.
I do enjoy a suited big slick.
The big sliz.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of these.
Oh no, homeboy, come back, come back. Well, we'll switch the feed while we wait to see if homeboy can make it back. Of course, he loses his connection at the most important possible time. He's king suited. But let's oh, you coming back? Killing me. Well, we'll get him back. In the meantime, let's just go through the kid's blog, see what he's got to offer. So we back?
Hey, did I lose you?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't even I had to get you on my laptop because my desktop, for whatever reason, is not working on it. But I flopped a king, and now I just turned a king. I let out, he called, he just checked again. I'm about to lead out.
All right, well, let's see if I can sweat your table from my thing.
I don't know why it's not working on my desktop.
It's all right, man.
4 king 10. He checks, I bet he calls. King turn, he checks, I bet he's thinking.
If we can get it so I can get your tables and we can't see your cards, that'll be even better. Because people are going to be like, yo, he definitely had to have it there. And you just never have it. That's your style. But in the meantime, while we try to get
he just called again. He checked the 2 hearts on the flop, didn't make it on the river, so he's checking again. I mean, I'm going to mash here. See if I can get him.
I'm going to try to get there ASAP. I don't even know my fucking login info. Oh, first try wrong.
All right, he folded.
Okay.
Dude, how do I get here? Actually, I'm back up on this thing. I'll call you. I'll call you right back.
Okay. I mean, I got it. So he'll be back in a minute, but we got his theories on situations, how to approach the game, how to approach your own personal hygiene and stuff, and then he's got roles, which is what we were talking about, which is the mother hen. There's also the point guard and the makeup bandit, which you definitely want to avoid. And for anyone who's interested in this stuff, definitely read The Game by, man, who's it by? I don't know where my copy is, but definitely read The Game. It's a fantastic book, and it covers everything you're going to want to know about that stuff. All right, homeboy's coming back in 1 minute. I think Neil Strauss, I think is the author of The Game. All right, we back?
Yeah, we're back.
We back. Fantastic.
What happened?
I was just telling them about The Game for when they feel like they've got enough from your blog and they want to hear the real life story. Neil Strauss does a pretty good job. I think your book, when you come out with it in like 5 years, is going to be way fucking better. But whatever. For now, give them something to watch.
Yeah, my book's gonna be more. It's more entertainment, you know. My read is it's less like so much teaching as it is like you definitely get some good tips out of it, but it's also like you read it and you're like, wow, that's so true. You know, a lot of times I feel like you find yourself saying like, you know, that's so true, or like, wow, it's so accurate about the makeout bandit or the mother hen, or like, oh my god, having a point guard, that's so important. Like you don't realize, you know, a lot of these things you already do without thinking about it, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't really give them a name or you don't like kind of give them a title, and so giving them a title and like really identifying what they do and what their role is kind of like the I guess unique value of it.
Yeah. And I think it's the same with a lot of like self-help books, a lot of like motivational speaking stuff, a lot of courses you'll take in school even where you figure like so much of the stuff you hear, man, that's so obvious. Like I already knew that. But to have someone else articulate it makes you think about it again, makes you understand it better, and then remember it more and be more aware of that thing. So that's why I think reading blogs, reading books, listening to like webcasts, podcasts, all that stuff is fantastic for just your development as a person for anything. Like we do this show for poker because people want to get better at poker, but there's so much other stuff that people like are kind of interested in, maybe afraid to actually like go for, and just do some googling, see what you find. If there's something you're interested in, you can probably become really fucking good at it or really smart about that just by doing a little reading and exercising your brain.
There's a lot of resources out there, man. You don't need to pay for 500. You don't have to pay $200,000 to go to private school.
Yeah, we're so spoiled with the internet, man. So lucky that we were born when we were. Because like, can you imagine what life was like fucking like 50 years ago when they only had like black and white TV and there were probably like fucking 3 channels.
Pretty miserable.
Yeah. Yo, what are you doing, man? We're trying to watch your table. We don't care about what's going on your
Dude,
Google Analytics.
my table's dead. I'm getting kings. By the time I get kings, I have to minimize for a second, then I get kings.
You just had to be like, all right, Bodog, I'm over you. And they're like, no, come back. We'll give you kings. The software knows.
I figured it out, man. I figured it out.
So,
No, take a little longer. Take a little longer, number 3. It's a big decision, man.
and you can't even talk shit to him because he doesn't have a fucking name.
I know.
It's just like mystery, man.
Yeah, you know, I can 3 you.
Do you ever slow play there, or is it always a 3-bet for you? No. You really gonna drop again? God damn it. All right. All right. Let's find this. Let's find this. 2-4 game. Homeboy, you're fucking killing me. Killing me. Killing me. Sorry, guys. You know, he's a great dude, but he doesn't have the greatest internet connection. And I guess I should have told him before the show starts that a good connection is mandatory, but what are you going to do? I think this might be his table. What number was he? Number one, three, four, five, whatever. Um, we'll give him a minute to get back. If we can get some more hands in, cool. If we can't, not the end of the world. But he's got some good stuff to talk about from this year's main event, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man.
You're really good at losing the connection at the most like crucial part of the
It's not,
broadcast.
dude. It's not. He folded. He folded the 3-bet. But and then I got ace 10 suited, and I raised it, and then this number one guy 3-bet me out of the small blind. I called, and and then he checked, and I won. Dude, it's a little bit frustrating that that my sky keeps going out.
I mean, it's okay, you know.
Sorry.
It's it's
Anyway,
it's
I'm 3-betting here. The same exact guy I just took down. He just 3-bet me out of the small blind. Obviously, I'm going to 3-bet here. I mean, I just think he's opening the button four-handed really wide.
yeah, and then you could just
It's a really shitty board for me to c-bet, though.
fucking shit on him, man. I mean, that board's dry. How
Yeah,
many
it's dry.
how
I
many
mean,
draws
he
can?
knows that I'm c-betting with air. He's likely to come over me here a lot of the time.
You think he'd raise you here as a total stone bluff?
Yes, I do, 100% of the time.
So he's just a spew master, right? Maybe it's Joseph Chong.
That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I would come over the top. Wow.
but no.
These guys are that bad, you know? I mean, if I was number one right there, 100% of the time with air ball, I'm raising that big blind lead. 100% of the time.
Yeah, and I mean, let's think about it. If you're up against a bad hand reader and you raise that flop there, he's only going to continue if he has like top pair or better. Like if he has ace king or ace queen, he's probably going to fold. And I think if you break down his three betting range, he's going to have unpaired cards twice as often as he's going to have a pair. And your bluff raise is going to be for less than what's in the pot. So you only have to get it to work 50% of the time. And if he's playing fit or fold, he's going to be folding 2/3 of the time, and you need 50% to break even. So, yeah, seems like a good play.
I would agree.
Now, if you were playing on another site though, where people can like read the hands better, you probably wouldn't do it as much because you're not repping anything. Like, there's no legit hand you would actually raise on that board except for maybe slow played aces, right?
No, not necessarily. I mean, yeah, okay. Still play aces 100%. I would raise, but yeah, you're bluffing, but you're also putting that guy to the test to say, do you have the balls to come over the top with me on a ship? And on Bovada, these guys aren't good enough. You're right though. On a site where there's good enough players, and they would just do that. Now I raised pre, I led flop. He called the flop, and now he's just leading turn. Now if he had a flush draw, I'm thinking he would have re-raised me on the flop. I don't think he would just cold call.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call here. This is a loose call. I think he's on like an 8-9, a 7-8 type deal. I mean, he called my bet on the flop, which means he could have a 10. He could have a jack 10, but he's also got a lot of 10s that he missed. He has a queen 10, a king 10. Maybe he's just bad and he's not checking it back.
Yeah.
It is a loose call, but I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, he could also, man,
That's a
that board.
really bad river card.
Yeah, I was gonna say he could also have like a jack nine, jack queen on the flop, and that turn, even like with it being a heart, it's obviously like the worst. But I think even an offsuit jack is pretty unfortunate card for you on the turn. But I like that you don't just like roll over like a bitch right away. You know, you're gonna make him earn this pot if he wants it.
And now I gotta let it go.
Yeah. So I want you to tell these guys about your revolutionary theories that you came up with during the main event. And we tried to tell you otherwise, but you refused to listen because you just had it figured out. So tell these guys what they need to know about the main event if they ever decide to go play it from a rookie.
This is my first year playing the main event, and now that I've played it and I realize how long it is until the next time, like there is that inherent fear of like, okay, next time I play, like you don't want to go home, you don't want to get knocked out. So that fear of losing is what's going to end up making you lose. And so I think that me never having played and not having any fear of losing, because it was really just all or nothing for me, was a huge advantage. And I noticed that no one's getting their chips in unless they are like nutted, like extremely nutted. And it's really easy to get people off hands um, if you play fearlessly. And if I mean, I was sending my hand histories to these guys, and I didn't. This is my first year. I didn't play online as much as a lot of these wizards that I was living with, and I mean, in about 5 minutes, I think I earned a lot of people's respect with my hand histories because they were just looking at me like I was just completely insane. I would, as long as I was in position, I was floating flops. Um, I was floating flops with nothing, with literally nothing. I would float drawy boards with nothing, hope for a semi-scary turn so that when this guy leads out again on the turn, I could re-raise. And 100% of the time, these old men and these conservative players are putting you on it. They're saying, wow, he got there. And they're just not willing to 3-bet you out of position and commit a large portion of their chips or call you because then they know they're going to be faced with a really difficult river decision unless they have it or unless they're drawing to like the nuts. So a majority of the time, I was just completely playing. It didn't matter what my cards were. I would play any two against a certain opponent, and that really is the key: is picking the players that are weak, and even though they're tight and they haven't raised a lot of hands, that's even the better player to play against.
Yeah, and the thing is, you were actually hoping that these guys would have aces or kings, and those
Right.
were the spots where you would then start to fuck with them, right?
Exactly. I mean, what are you supposed to do when you've got aces and the board is Jack 9 8 6, or Jack 9 8 5, or Jack, any board where there's 3 cards within 1 or 2 spots of each other. When these guys lead out big on the flop and you call, they're already saying shit. Well, maybe he's got a Jack. This is good. Maybe it's top pair. Now they lead out big on the turn, and you just know this guy's got kings or aces face up, and he knows that
Yeah.
that he has kings or aces. And when you make that move over the top on the turn, the guy's saying to himself, what? This guy knows I have kings or aces, and he's still re-raising me. I mean, he's got to have it. And
Yeah.
you, and it's such an easy spot to pick up.
And did you successfully get anyone to fold aces or kings?
Yeah, guy. Day one, king queen. I had king queen in the cutoff. It was probably like I don't know 6th or 7th hour in. Guy hadn't played. He had played very very rarely. So I raised the cutoff, and this like older gentleman, probably in his mid 40s, 3-bets me out of the small blind, pretty big. And I say to myself, okay, ace, king, queens are better. Most likely, kings or aces. Um, so he 3-bets me out of the big blind, or yeah, big blind. I call with king, queen. Flop comes Jack 8, or yeah, it came like Jack 8 5 or something. Jack 8 4,
Okay.
and and he leads out again, and I float with king queen. I'm not drawing to anything. I'm just floating.
You don't even want to make a pair because then you
Yeah,
might have to call down for showdown, which you're not
exactly.
trying to do.
I'm hoping that board hits that an 8, a 7, or a 10, or another jack possibly comes. Like just any scare card. I think there was 2 clubs maybe on the board as well, and there was just a number of cards that I knew were going to scare this guy on the turn, and lo and behold, it was a 9. And so now it's Jack 9 8 out there, and he wasn't a good enough player to say to me, say to himself, well, was he really going to float Queen 10, or what is he possibly re-raising here? No, he was just a guy playing his aces, playing them hard, and 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 when I came over the top, he bet probably 3/4 pot on the turn, and I
Mhm.
came right over him. I think I did like three times what he bet. I re-raised him a little bit, maybe a little less. I committed about 20,000 chips on day one. You start with 30, but I
Yeah.
was just so sure that the guy had aces and had to fold, and
Yeah.
he did. I mean, he folded. He showed him, folded him face up. So there was just a lot of spots that I'm just gonna check raise here. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you made the worst limp in ever here because that guy posted, and you could have just taken it down pre. But
posted.
yeah, he posted, man. He's a new player.
Oh shit! I didn't even
Not
notice that I was talking. I thought he just limped.
now he's gonna make you sweat it. And the cool thing about that play is if you can get away with it once or twice, you're taking down big pots to the point that you can like double your stack up without even going to showdown. Which then means if you want to gamble or you want to continue to play this like high pressure style, now you have enough of a cushion that you can withstand getting caught or you can withstand a beat. But the more important thing is since you don't go to showdown when you make these plays, people don't know you had nothing. And they're just going to give you credit for having the hand. They're going to just think you're running really good, especially in the main event. And so you can keep getting away with it over and over and over. And until you actually get caught, you don't have to change gears. You just keep doing it and keep building up that stack. And the best way to play tournaments is to find ways to chip up without going to showdown. Because that's when no one gets any information about your play. No one can
100%.
figure out what you're up to. And you get in their head. People are just like, man, what is this guy doing? How is he winning so many pots? And they just assume you're running good. Unless it's like a really good field, like the 5K no limit or like a high roller event. You're just gonna be able to get away with this shit over and over and over because like homeboy said, people wait so long to play these majors, whether it's the World Series main event or like the PCA or EPT. People have flown for hours to get to
Yeah,
these
and
things.
and they're promising. They are promising their wives that they're not going to get it in unless they've got the nuts. You know?
Honey, I will not bust on day one. I'm gonna make day two. It's so stupid because making day two is worth nothing, but that is the attitude that amateurs have when they play these tournaments. So yeah, you can really apply the pressure and get it done. Oh. And what place did you end up finishing?
430th,
Good for how much?
28,500.
20, 28,000. Pretty good return for your first time ever playing the tournament. And you
Yeah.
were I remember before it started, you weren't even sure. You're like, should I play? I don't know. And then I'm like, dude, let's do some yoga. And you're like, okay. And we went and did some yoga and on the way back you're just like, yeah, playing the main event's the right thing to do. I feel
I
great.
know. I love yogs, man. I always make the right call after yogs.
How good was that fucking yoga and stretch session we did? Like, I think it was after day one, or maybe it was the day before the tournament, but me and you just had like the most epic, chill, lax session ever. And it just got us in such a good zone to be prepared for that tournament.
You know, yoga, I can, to be honest with you, man, the way I would describe yoga, it's like, it's honestly cardio for the mind. You know, that's really the best way I could describe it. It's like, it builds your ability. Why does it keep sitting me out? Uh, it makes it, it really makes it so that you can deal with and that's why it's so good for the main because you're really playing. I mean, it's a grind, man. I really started fading. Um,
Mhm.
day four, end of day four, I was fading. I was exhausted. I wasn't sleeping properly. I mean,
Yeah.
sleep is key. But yoga, I mean, I attribute yoga to the first 3 days of just being perfectly alert for all 15 hours of every day or 12 hours of every day, however long we played for. And it's great, man. It's incredible. It really
Yeah.
gets you in the zone, and you're really at peace too after it. You know, you come home.
Yeah. I've been skipping my class for the last little bit, the one I do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I went today and I was just like, man, how have I skipped this? I feel better than I feel after almost anything, not quite anything, but almost anything. You just feel so good after. I'm like, why would I ever skip this? And it's so easy. It's not like it's a vigorous, difficult routine where you're like sweating like crazy and your body's failing on you because you can't get that last rep of it. It's a totally different workout, but the effect is so profound. And like at first I thought, for picking up chicks, that's where, bodybuilding comes in because you want to look jacked and you want to look big. But I feel like if you do yoga, chicks dig that too because you just give off this sweet vibe and you have this really good energy about you if you're like a true yogi. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Get it done. What happened, Pri? Is it possible for this guy to have a nine? Oh
Yeah,
shit. Whatever. You got straight.
but it's not possible for him to beat me.
I feel like you should. Whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
What do you say? Insta shift?
No, I was gonna say be cautious because you could have a boat, but I'm just whatever.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, that goes against everything I believe here. But you're right. He's not really leading out. He's not really leading out with too many hands that I'm beating. Well, there it is.
How did he see the turn?
How does he just? Oh my god.
And I was also thinking, like, if he has trip nines, it's going to be really hard for him to fold them. But I was thinking most reasonable nines, like with a reasonable kicker, actually have a full house on that board. And I think he's folding everything else to a raise. So even though you have the best hand most of the time, I don't know if there's enough value there to go for the raise or not. It's kind of thin.
Yeah, but you're also you're overthinking because these players are awful.
They're completely retarded. I know they have no brains. I think if the river's a six, though, it's not even close. You just go for it because that's one less kicker that there's to worry about, and also the board doesn't look quite so scary for someone who has trips. If we think about like what we're representing and stuff.
It never even dawned upon me that he had a nine because if he had a nine, I honestly think he would have been shipping the turn. He doesn't want two spades, doesn't want a jack. He doesn't want my flush draw or anything like that to get there. So I think that he would have put more pressure on me. I don't think he's leading out $4 with a nine on the flop. I don't think he's leading out $12 or 22 into 40 or 50 something, whatever it was on the turn. I think I just see it seemed to me like it was just stupidity. I thought he might have been drawing, which is well, I guess on the river you're right. There's no real reason to ship it if I thought he was drawing.
Did you raise the flop or just call?
He bet $4 on the flop, and then I re-raised it to 16. And he called.
He called. Okay, so let me get this straight. On
He
Bovada,
called a 4x re-raise with king high. Yes.
King four on 8 9 8. People are calling raises on the site. Okay. So I guess those people in the States who think that online poker is dead, you guys have a little secret gem here in Bovada.
It's a joke. It's printing money.
I wonder if the
If you're a reasonably competent player, it's printing money. And I would three bet this guy, but he's obviously a calling station. It's just not worth it.
yeah, and he's also got enough, like a small enough stack left that he might just be in fuck it mode, ready to just rip it in.
Yeah. That's right. Take the old $300 session. $300 an hour keeps the doctor away.
Hell yeah! What are you gonna do with that money? Bottle service? No, you don't need bottle service to get the job done.
Maybe I'll put one of those sessions into bottle service for Halloween.
Yeah, man, I'll have to come join you in Miami sometime. Sounds like just the sweetest place to be.
Is it starting to get miserable up there?
Yeah, I think we have like 2 more days of nice weather, and then it's just game over. Then just like think of the North Pole. It's gonna look a little bit like that, pretty
Oh,
much.
God.
The nice thing is we have actual like houses to live in and not igloos, but it's still really fucking cold, and you just never want to go outside.
Dude,
It's
we were playing. We were watching Frozen Planet.
yeah.
My roommate and I. We decided to start playing a fun, degenerate game of over unders on animal weight.
What?
Dude, so many crazy animals, and just trying to pin their weight simply by looking at them, setting up a line, and then having to take the over or the under.
Yeah.
Like we were just doing. First we were doing like lions versus gorillas, and then we started doing like frozen animals, like the polar bear and the narwhal. And I ended up taking 400 off of him because we were doing $50 and over under,
Okay.
and he literally lost 8 in a row. He thought Free Willy. This guy's serious. Um, he thought Free Willy was less than 8,000 pounds, and I said to myself, those killer whales are pretty heavy. The things end up weighing like 15 or 16K. It just wasn't even close.
Wow,
Yeah,
massive. Okay, what do you think weighs more between a rhino and a hippo?
dude, that was one we did. It's a really good one. We did that one. We've done every one you could possibly do.
Everyone picks rhino, right? But it's not.
Everyone picks no rhino is
Rhino weighs more than a hippo?
a white rhino does. You have to that's the thing. You have to specify. But like, yeah, white rhino is way more than hippos.
Okay, because when I was like over in Africa, the rhinos there weighed less than the hippos. And I was amazed to hear that the hippos caused the most deaths to humans out of any animal. You'd
Yeah, dude,
expect it to be like a lion or a cheetah or a tiger or something, but it's the hippos.
they sneak up on you, dude. You're getting that water, and they just come at you.
Yeah, because what happens is it was actually really funny. I walked up to a group of them and we were like on like a ridge above them, and I just waved my arms, and all the hippos started booking it to the water because they're like, we don't know what this thing is. We just see this thing moving, coming towards us. We got to get in the water where it's safe. So their natural instinct when anything scares them is to book it to the water. So if you're between them and the water, you're done because they are not stopping when you get in the way, and they're just booking it there.
Done.
But I sent like a pack of like 15 of them running to the water. It was the funniest shit ever.
Dude, hippos are such strange animals. They're like giant pigs with huge mouths.
Yeah, they just fucking slob around.
Pop out, snipe you, man. They get you real quick.
Yeah. All right, bro. Let's run one more orbit on this table and book this win.
Sounds good, man.
Don't feel like you gotta force the action just because the feed's ending. You know,
So no three here.
there's no way the second guy's folding, man.
I know.
I mean, if you feel like if you just got a feeling,
No,
Queen Seven's
it was
gonna.
it was a joke. It was a joke. It is something I would 100% do if both of them had $400.
Yeah, I feel like squeezing is so fucking profitable when people don't really know what's up because the caller's never calling.
Yeah, never.
But like if you try it on Poker Stars, like, oh, it's a good squeeze spot, eh? All right, I'll just click you back with 4 bet. What you gonna do, bro?
Yeah, and then he's 5 in his face.
It's so absurd, like the difference between games on different sites. How like it's like a 5 year gap in terms of what people know. I feel like on Bovada, it's like playing poker 7 years ago.
It is. It's great.
How about everyone?
It's my little secret, man. Don't tell too many people about it.
Oh, it's all right. I think most of the viewers are from like Europe or Aussie, so they can't even get here. And I checked out from the Canadian client to see if like I could even find your table, and I think you have different tables than I do. So people on Boda can't play with people on Bovada, and I think that Bovada is limited to a pretty small like demographic of who's allowed to play. So you're safe, bro. And no one wants to play on this ugly ass software anyway. Look at this thing. It looks more like a baccarat table than a poker table.
It is pretty ugly.
Buddy buying in for 396.35. Just like, how could he not be a donk?
That's the old roll right there, huh?
Oh shit, dog! You just got pwned.
Dude, twice this guy's done it to me, man.
Maybe he could see your cards. Maybe he's watching the broadcast.
Yeah, sitting with 120 at the 240 table.
We actually had that one day where some guy was scamming. He was watching the show, and he knew what the guy had, and he tried to bluff us off a hand that we're never folding.
No way. Wait, that's a great idea.
I think we had ace 10 on ace 8 8, and the guy raised it on the flop. He's like, yeah, fuck this guy. We're not going anywhere. And we ripped, and he folded, and the guy was.
Did he hear you on the podcast saying we're not going anywhere? Fuck this guy. And he still just tried to get you off?
Yeah, and then when we found out like who it was, he got ripped into a little bit. But I figured out how to set the delay to be like 10 minutes, so even if someone's trying to scam, they can't. All right, so good session, bro.
Yeah.
Played solid, minus the internet falling apart, but no big deal. And thank you so much for being on the show, man. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your game and sharing your wisdom of the ladies, because it's a good dude. Sadly, we lost him again. Surprise, surprise. But I think we got enough goodness out of our boy, Roberto Riva. So if you guys are interested in reading more about him, check out his blog, riverrants.com. And we need to show this guy some love. So if you can, hit him with a like on Facebook. He's got 4 people who like him. That's pathetic. Give him some love, guys. Tell your friends to give him some love. Just so you know, he can feel the support and the caring. And he gave us some nice stuff today. Let's show him that we appreciate that by giving him a little action on Facebook. But yeah, great blog. If you guys are interested in women or if you're interested in sports, the guy covers it. And if you enjoyed him being on the show, we will definitely have him on here again. So that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. And as always, if you haven't yet liked us on Facebook, like us on Facebook. We need that support too. Get us on Twitter so you can get updates. And great news, fantastic news for you guys. You should be really excited about this. I think Betfair is going to give us some free rolls next week. So if you want to get in the free rolls, you're going to have to do one thing. That's go to grips.com and just sign up here for the coaching notifications, because we're going to be sending the passwords for the free rolls via this system. So you got to make sure that you're on the mailing list so that we can send you the passwords and you can play the free rolls. So ideally, I'm going to try to get them started on Monday. Can't promise, but I'm going to try my best. And then moving forward, Monday's password will be sent by email, and we're also going to send you guys the schedule of who's going to be on the show, what games they're going to be playing, so you guys can tune in for which episodes you're interested in. And if there's any ones you don't want to watch, no offense taken, you don't need to tune in for every single one. And then for upcoming free rolls, since I'm gonna try my best to get us daily, Monday to Friday. Can't promise. I'm gonna lean on these guys and be like, come on, we got some guys who love Betfair, and we need the free money. Give us free money. So I'm gonna try to get some stuff Monday to Friday, and passwords for the free rolls will be emailed out on Monday, and then for the ones during the week, we will be giving the passwords away on the show. So make sure to tune in. And ideally, I'm going to try to run them at 4 p.m., right before the broadcast. But sign up for that mailing list so I can give you guys an update as soon as I hear back from my associates at Betfair. And hopefully it's going to be good news. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you have any feedback, just post it up on my YouTube channel. Send me a PM, email me, whatever you got to do to get in touch. Facebook, Twitter, I'm available. Let me know what you're thinking. This has been Evan for Grips.com. Now it's your turn. Go out there and get stacking.